Sitting on my bed about to go to sleep, but I just decided to do this video before I go to sleep. This is what you need. If you like my channel, don't forget you can share, subscribe, donate via Western Union MoneyGram. Canelo Alvarez versus Marvin Hagler fantasy fight. Just looking at it. And I want to ask you guys this question. Who do you think would win? Here's my opinion. My opinion is that Canelo would win that fight. And I'll tell you several reasons why. And you can counter if you want in the comment section below. First reason is that even though Marvin Hagler is a switch hitter, is a tough guy, pressure fighter, etc., 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 Canelo is just a much bigger fighter than Marvin Hagler, size-wise. Marvin Hagler was a 160-pounder, and he was a true 160-pounder. Today, he would be a welterweight. And Canelo is like somewhere close to 180. All right, walk around. And my thing being that Canelo, he's even fighting at super middleweight now. He's not even fighting at middleweight anymore. So I think Canelo would be too big for him to start with. And just because of Marvin Hagler's game, tough as nails, take a punch, that wouldn't order well for him against Canelo. And he has decent defense, especially when he uses his jab. But it still wouldn't order well for him against Canelo, who, the second point, Canelo went 24 rounds with Triple G. Okay? Who I believe Triple G is a harder puncher than Marvin Hagler. Okay, and same relentless pressure. And the other point is Canelo is a counterpuncher. That's what he loves. He loves to counterpunch. So you bring pressure to him, he's going to counterpunch your ass out. Now, if it's a 15-rounder or 12-rounder, let's say it was 15-rounder, Marvin Hagler would have the advantage because we all know Canelo, even though he can still go full 15, he would have stamina issues at some point in the fight, and he had to regroup. Hagler can bring the pressure if he hasn't gotten hurt by Canelo. Canelo's a lot quicker than Hagler, faster, hand speed, everything. And has better defense than Marvin Hagler. It would be a challenge for Marvin Hagler if he could make it, first of all, because remember, Marvin Hagler would be like a blown-up welterweight versus Canelo is like a full-fledged, solid middleweight today, okay? So I think for those reasons alone, Canelo would beat Marvin Hagler. Of course, a lot of other people think that Marvin Hagler, because he was legend and all of that, and the kind of opposition he faced, he would beat Canelo. But I just don't see it, okay? Let me give you another fantasy fight matchup. Terrence Crawford versus Sugar Ray Leonard. Terrence Crawford versus Sugar Ray Leonard. Who you got? Again, I'm going to pick Terrence Crawford over Sugar Ray Leonard. And a lot of you guys would be shocked. Be like, what? Terrence Crawford hasn't proven himself that well. Well, listen. Terrence Crawford wouldn't be as fast as Sugar Ray Leonard, but his timing would be ridiculous. It's almost like a Marvin Hagler versus Sugar Ray Leonard at welterweight, okay? Except Terrence Crawford is more skilled than Marvin Hagler. He literally is more skilled than Marvin Hagler. He does a lot more things. He has a better defense than Marvin Hagler. He can fight if he wants to, southpaw or orthodox. I think that Terrence Crawford has more nuance than Sugar Ray Leonard does. Sugar Ray Leonard was a better... He's not even a better fighter than Terrence Crawford because Terrence Crawford can fight too. Terrence Crawford likes to mix it up like Sugar Ray Leonard. He would get caught by certain shots by Sugar Ray Leonard, but I think he's just strong. I've never seen Terrence Crawford get dropped in his career. I don't think he's ever been dropped in his career. So skill-wise and some of the things that Terrence Crawford does, Sugar Ray Leonard doesn't do check hooks. Sugar Ray Leonard doesn't, even though he fights on the inside, Sugar Ray Leonard's more dependent on his jab. Terrence Crawford is also dependent on his jab, but he has a certain rhythm, certain footwork. Terrence Crawford can be ambidextrous. So Terrence Crawford got a lot more variety in him. And I just think that Terrence Crawford would beat Sugar Ray Leonard. Now, for a lot of people would say, well, I don't know about that. Terrence Crawford got a hell of a beard. We know he has a chin, even though he's been dropped. Actually, he has been dropped, now that I think about it. But at the end of the day, I believe that boxing as a sport evolves. And the more you move further into time, it's actually the more skilled and a lot more information is available to the boxers today than the guys in Leonard's time. And the guys in Leonard's time had a certain kind of way of fighting. You can look at different eras of fighting with this particular style of fighting and how it evolves over time, which is a thing that a lot of people don't do. But if you look at the evolution of these fighters over time, that again will give you an idea of just why I think Terence Crawford would have an edge over Sugar Ray Leonard. Terence Crawford takes very good care of his body. Sugar Ray Leonard didn't do that all his career. Terence Crawford is a guy that's mentally tough. Sugar Ray Leonard wasn't always that all the way through his career. So all of these little things I look at. And same reasons I give for Floyd Mayweather beating Sugar Ray Leonard, same reasons I would give for Terence Crawford or even an Errol Spence, to beat Sugar Ray Leonard. And again, it doesn't have anything to do with, and I think too many people are attached to so many legends or people they like that they're not willing to look at that. I would even say Terence Crawford probably could beat Floyd Mayweather as he evolves. As Terence Crawford evolves, he would be able to probably beat and surpass Floyd Mayweather. I wouldn't be surprised some other boxers might be able to do the same. That's just the way how the sport goes. It evolves, the conditioning and everything that goes along with it. Boxers improve over time. And the way how these boxers are dealing with their bodies and dealing with themselves and staying ready. Sugar Ray Leonard wasn't staying ready all year round. They have training camps and and there's just all of these little things. And Sugar Ray Leonard was a well-conditioned athlete, by the way. But you can't cheat in no area. And if you're cheating, then you better find a way to clear out all that cheat. You know what I mean? Terence Crawford's in the gym every single fucking day. Okay? Mayweather used to make a lifestyle of boxing and committed himself to a lifestyle of boxing. I'm not saying that Sugar Ray Robinson didn't do that either. Sugar Ray Robinson was known for that. Sugar Ray Leonard was known for that, but not on the level and the measure of dedication to the sport that Floyd and now Terence and several other fighters, new breed fighters that you see coming up have. So that's why, and even Canelo. So it's a totally different picture to what you're used to seeing. And again, I think that today's boxers are smarter boxers in the ring than the yesteryear fighters. They were always looking to hurt you. They was always looking to get back, and they didn't take their time, didn't keep their composure, didn't keep the defense tight, and then also proceed to break you down, pick you apart. Look how Canelo took out Sergey Kovalev. Look how he took him out, right? Very methodical, very surgical in what he was doing. And then when he finally crashed him, he crashed him. I remember BWF versus Alexander Usyk, Alexander Zvornik. And the same sort of thing was going on there. I looked at, again, very, patient, take your time, break the fighter down, rough him up on the inside with you, if you like to rough him up, and then take him out of there, right? A lot of people are always looking for the knockout. I hear fighters saying, I'm going in to knock this guy out. Listen, common sense tells us if the knockout comes, it comes. In the meantime, you do what is the right thing to do in fights. A lot of fighters get too agitated or excited and they blow their load or they blow themselves, so they're not able to execute the finishing product where you should and leave it without a question or a doubt. And I think a lot of fighters always feel, oh, I got to get this guy out of there or I'll go home and I'm going for the KO. You can't go for the KO if you haven't set up the KO. And to set up the KO means you have to follow certain principle rules. See what I'm saying? So if you do what you're supposed to do, right? If you do what you're supposed to do, then it sets up the opportunity for a KO, right? But if you're just going for broke and you're just throwing hands, you might get KO'd. See? And that's the difference. Anyway, people, I got to get out of here. I'm what you need. You like this channel, don't forget to comment, share, subscribe. If you want to donate, buy a Western Union. I'll catch you guys later. Peace.